Behavior is a language. That's why a lot of people are shocked when you just turn up one day and say, I don't mess with you no more. And they're like, I don't understand. We haven't had a chance to talk about it. There's nothing to talk about because your behavior is the language. I have witnessed a lot of times when you talk to somebody about things that they're doing in their life, no matter when you try to do it kind, soft, tough love, cut to the chase, get to the point, and these people still go back out in life and repeat the same behaviors. Now, there's a part of me that's empathetic where I'm understanding that a lot of it's conditioning, and some people really don't know that they are repeating behaviors or what I call chaos behaviors, where they are just walking around being themselves, right? But really, they're just a byproduct of their family trauma, their parental trauma, their upbringing trauma, whatever it is, it's some level of trauma where they don't see what everyone else sees. One of the great examples that I've noticed is people who constantly have issues around them, but they don't know what the issue is. And they're just like, I don't understand. What's the problem? All I said was this. All I did was this. I didn't say anything that they didn't say to me or to anyone else out loud. I just repeated it. And it's little things like that that add up like, exactly. Even if somebody told you something that's on public information, plastered all over TV and in a newspaper, if they came to you and told you personally, or wanted to talk to you about it personally, why would you take that information and then go talk about it to other people? Right? To me, that's where we start losing the understanding of loyalty and respect and just empathy of a situation. We love as a society to gossip. We love to share information and talk about what we've seen, what we heard, somebody else's experience. Sometimes we like to laugh at it, sometimes we learn from it. But the main thing that I've learned is I pay attention to this behavior in people because these are the people that when you start to look around and you say, these are my group of friends, and they're all kind of crappy on some level. And I don't mean that everybody is crappy. I know a lot of times I make videos talking about protect your peace, protect your sovereignty. If you have to step away from people, do so. But I am more about a teacher on the individual level where I want individuals to be strong for themselves as a unit so that if they decide to go join a group of friends or a society or a corporation, they know how to hold their own. They don't get sucked into somebody else's identity. That's what my content is built for. So when I see people who keep replicating behaviors, and I've done this many times in old friendships, and I've done the whole friendship breakup where I've sent a very nice message like, hey, listen, I think you're an amazing person. I think you're wonderful. I just feel like I've outgrown this relationship. And it's going to come as a shocker to some people because they're like, why? What did I do? And don't get me wrong, I don't just do it out of nowhere because it's something we never talked about. These are times when I've sat with people for hours and hours and went over their life and talked about what was going on and said, maybe you should see a therapist, maybe you should talk to someone. And they're like, yeah, maybe I should. And then guess what? They don't. They don't seek help. They don't seek change. They don't seek evolution. And so after years go by of the same behavior, and I'll give people what I call the 1 year evaluation before I get rid of you. Again, I don't care if it sounds harsh or not because we're going to pass from this human body. I care more about the soul experience and the emotional experience of my human than I care about the social conditioning of the human world that's created based on other people's opinions. Because that's what most of society is on the outside is other people's opinions. Rules, other people's opinions. Laws, other people's opinions. Education, other people's opinions. Remember, this is just someone else sat down and wrote something and said, we should do this. And enough people backed it. So when I see anyone utilizing behavior that is destructive to the whole of society, but because they just want to fit in and not be ostracized, they don't care. Yes, I do not want you in my space. This is the time that I'm telling people now, do not go forward in your life keeping what we call ops around, people who really don't care about you, who really don't like you, but they're so used to you being around and being you as a character in their life as they grow and develop that they look at you as if you're just this thing that's just there, like, oh, that's just them. They'll always be the same. I have one friend where a lovely person. They didn't do anything directly mean or wrong to someone, but every time I hung out with them, they would pick one particular friend and dog the crap out of them. And I'm like, why? And then they act like this person was their best friend. Like, oh my God, I talk to them all the time and I check in on them. Oh, they ain't got no man, they ain't got no home, they ain't got no real job. And I'm like, So are you checking in as a friend or are you checking in as an op? Because to me, on the outside looking in, you're telling me this as your friend about a friend that I think is your friend and a friend that was a friend to me. And you're just talking about them unsolicitedly for no reason. To me, that's behavior as a language that says, you do this to me. I don't care if you say, I would never. You've done this to me. If you can do it to them and you say, this is your best friend, and this person to you is like family, and you're talking the dog crap out of them to somebody else, of course you're doing it to me. And if you're not, then that's the part of the behavior that is a language that I need you to clarify. Because what I am not about to do is accept bad behavior and then condone it as that's just their personality. That's just how they are. Absolutely not. A lot of those housewife shows, it's purely entertainment because most of them say they're not really friends. And so they try to sit them down and make them look like friends. And the ones who play the social decorum and like, oh, well, we're just all here and we're just trying to be friends. And I love the ones who are like, girl, we ain't friends. We're just here together. Like if I was out at a club and you have a friend and I have a friend that's a mutual, we don't all have to interact. We're there because of that friend. I'm not here because of all of you. And if you don't like it, oh well, that's okay. But that's the stuff I pay attention to as far as behavior, where it's like, oh, this person's controlling. They need everyone to be their pet in the situation. That's where they think now they have some type of say in how I act. They have some type of say in what I'm supposed to do. So this is why I tell people, like, pay attention to behavior. It is much, much louder than words, right? It's easy for people to say, oh, I would never, or I'm going to try, or that's not me, that's not who I am. But your behavior says otherwise. Your mind might not be who you think you are, but the behavior that you're showing emotionally right now is telling me that's more you than the thoughts that you're repeating to me that are not you. Does this make sense? Because I don't want to ever feel like I'm dogging people or I don't give people grace. That's not the case. I just get to a point of a threshold where it's like, it is our responsibility as individuals to grow up. As we become older, it is our job to take on the responsibility to grow up. No one else's. So when I see adults sitting around in groups and all just comparing notes and saying, yop, that's me, yop, that's me. And it's like, but why? Why is that you? Why are you allowing this to be you? Why is this your identity now? You don't have to keep this identity. And then here people come, oh, you're always trying to say something opposite. You're always trying to be different. Why do you have to go against the grain and be resistant? And it's like, because I don't belong here. And that's when I say, you're absolutely right. Let me remove myself from this environment and put myself where there's more flow. Because what I appreciate in behavior is consistency. If you say that you're a good person, be that. But remember, a good person is a good person even when no one's watching. So if you have to go out of your way to make sure somebody sees that you're a good person, to me that means you're probably more manipulative, right? Or just putting on a mask because it's not real. You know it's not real. You know you don't care. So why do I need to act like I care? And that's the one where you start to recognize in people's behavior. They're like, why won't you let me get my way with you? Because you're not a child. Grow up. I know a lot of people, and I had people say that to me before. Why is it with you, I have to feel like I need to alter everything? Because I'm an adult who expects you to speak with accountability. So if you're going to just walk around and spew out things like a child with no accountability, then I'm going to treat you as a child, where I'm going to dismiss it and say, okay, go let them find out on their own because that's how they're going to find out. But I'm not about to sit here and witness it over and over and over and over and over if that child is not mine to raise, okay? I don't mind raising kids, but I'm not about to be raising adults. Period. So if I notice that your behavior is not aligning with your actions, or your behavior is not aligning with your words, or your behavior is not aligning with the emotions that you say you want to exude, but you're not by choice, again, go get help. I am not being rude. You cannot expect people to accept the behaviors and condition that were given to you that caused so much trauma in your own life and then expect them to turn around and take it into theirs as if this is just who you are. Because I am not that person. Check yourself, make sure you are responsible for your behavior and that it is aligning again with the representative that you're choosing to represent. I hope that makes sense. Love ya.